understandable English podcast.
Learn English the easy way.
I am currently staring at my phone in absolute high-voltage panic, and I need you to talk me off a ledge right now.
Oh boy. What happened? Did you accidentally send a voice note to your boss again, or did you buy another weird piece of office furniture?
Worse. So much worse. I found an old photo from 6 years ago, got super emotional, sent a text to my old friend Mark, and I just saw the word "read" appear under my message.
Okay, take a deep breath. Seeing "read" on a text message is not an emergency situation. Why is that causing a full system meltdown?
Because I haven't spoken to Mark in 5 whole years. Welcome back to the Understandable English podcast, everyone. Whether you are walking your dog, cooking dinner, or panicking over your phone like me, we are so glad you are tuning in.
Yes, welcome back, everyone. But Brian, 5 years is a very long time. What made you suddenly send a message out of nowhere today?
I was cleaning out my closet and found this dusty framed photo from college. There were 5 of us in the picture, arm in arm, laughing at some silly house party. And then it hit me like a truck. I have not spoken to 4 of those people in half a decade.
That is actually a very common realization. It happens to almost everyone at some point in their adult life.
But we were inseparable. We used to eat dinner together every single night, share all our secrets, and promise to stay close forever. So I thought, hey, I should reach out and fix this. I typed, "Hey man, miss you. Hope you are doing great." And then nothing, just the blue check marks of doom.
Well, give him a second. He might be at work or driving or just trying to figure out how to respond after 5 years of total silence.
What if he hates me now? What if I ran into a problem where I accidentally offended him in 2021 and I didn't even notice? I feel like I personally failed at keeping our friendship alive.
You didn't fail at anything, Brian. Friendships don't always end with a giant fight or dramatic movie confrontation. Most of the time, friendships fade without drama. People just move away, get busy, change jobs, and drift apart slowly.
But that feels so sad. Why do we just let people vanish from our lives? If you are listening to this on your commute right now, and you also have an old friend you haven't talked to in years, write their name in the comments below. It really helps you practice writing in English, and honestly, it makes me feel less alone in my social failure.
Please do leave a comment because Brian really needs some emotional reassurance right now. But honestly, Brian, I used to feel the exact same way you do. I used to get so guilty whenever an old friendship faded away.
Wait, really? You? Misorganized and peaceful actually felt bad about losing touch with someone? I find that hard to believe.
It is true. A few years ago, I realized I was doing all the heavy lifting to maintain connections with people I hadn't seen in ages. I was constantly sending texts, setting up dinners, and forcing conversations with high school friends where we had absolutely nothing in common anymore.
Heavy lifting. That is such a good way to put it. It feels like pushing a giant rock up a hill just to ask someone how their weekend was.
Exactly. And every single lunch meeting felt so awkward. We would sit there for 2 hours just repeating old stories from 10 years ago because we didn't fit into each other's current daily lives anymore. It was exhausting for both sides.
So what did you do? Did you sit them down and formally break up with them as friends? Because that sounds terrifying.
No, definitely not. You don't need a formal breakup for a casual friendship. I just had a huge mindset shift. I started viewing friends like chapters in a book.
Chapters in a book? Okay, explain that to my panicking brain, please.
Think about it this way. Some chapters are short, some are long, but every chapter finishes eventually. Just because a chapter ends doesn't mean the book is bad, and it doesn't mean that specific chapter wasn't wonderful while you were reading it.
Wow, that is actually really beautiful. So you mean a friendship can be totally complete and successful, even if it doesn't last for your entire life?
Precisely. Certain people enter your life for specific seasons. You might have great friends for university or for a specific job or for a hobby you used to love. When that season ends, it is totally normal for the relationship to quiet down.
I guess I always thought that if a friendship ended, someone must have done something wrong. Like someone was guilty of ghosting without malice, or someone was being selfish.
Most of the time, there is zero malice involved. People just have limited time and energy. Between work, family, sleep, and personal space, we only have so many hours in a week. It turns out that keeping up with 20 different close friends is practically impossible for an adult.
It really is impossible. I can barely keep up with my own laundry, let alone 20 group chats. But it still feels weird when you realize you have become strangers with someone who used to know everything about you.
It can feel bittersweet, for sure. But accepting it allows you to look back on those old memories with total warmth instead of feeling guilt or panic. You can just appreciate the time you shared and let people go gently.
Let people go gently. Man, Jessica, you are like a walking warm blanket for my stressed spirit today. That makes me feel so much better about Mark not texting back instantly.
See, he probably saw your message, smiled, remembered a good memory, and then got called into a meeting. He doesn't hate you. It is just life happening.
You know, I had an awkward reunion at a grocery store last year with another guy from that college photo. His name was Dave. I saw him in the cereal aisle, our eyes met, and we both froze like wild animals.
Oh no, the classic accidental grocery store encounter. What did you two do?
It was so painful. We stood next to the box of oats for 15 minutes doing small talk. We kept saying, we should totally get coffee soon. We need to catch up. We both knew 100% that neither of us was ever going to call the other person.
Why do we do that to ourselves? We feel this social pressure to pretend the connection is still alive, instead of just saying, "It was so great seeing you, hope you are doing well," and walking away.
Because we are terrified of being rude. We feel like we have to force connections even when the spark is totally gone. We try to keep in mind the past, but the present is just super awkward.
If this sounds like you, and you have ever had one of those fake coffee promises at the supermarket, leave a like on this video right now. We have all survived that exact situation.
It is a universal human experience, honestly. But listening to you explain the chapter theory makes me realize how much energy I waste worrying about the past. I spend so much time stressing about old connections that I forget to nurture the friends who are actually in my current chapter right now.
That is such an important point, Brian. Your energy is finite. If you spend all your time feeling guilty about the past, you don't have space to enjoy the people who are sitting right in front of you today.
Like you are in my current chapter. Though to be fair, you are stuck with me because we have a podcast together, so you can't drift away even if you want to.
That is very true. Our chapter is legally bound by audio recording schedules, so you are safe for now. But seriously, learning to give yourself permission to move on from old relationships is a huge part of growing up.
It really is about emotional confidence. You don't have to hold on to every single person you have ever met just to feel like a good person.
Exactly. You can love someone from a distance, wish them the best in life, and never text them again. Both things can be true at the exact same time.
That feels like a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. I think I am finally going to get used to the idea that people come and go, and that it is totally okay.
It really is okay. It makes room for new experiences, new growth, and new friends.
Speaking of learning and growing, this feels like a great moment to transition into our vocabulary section for today. Learning English with us is a habit that definitely won't fade away.
Absolutely. Let's jump right into our vocabulary tour. We used some really natural spoken expressions today that native speakers use all the time when talking about relationships and daily life.
Our first expression is run into a problem.
To run into a problem means to unexpectedly experience a difficulty or challenge while you are doing something. For example, I tried to organize a party, but I ran into a problem when the restaurant closed down.
Perfect example. The second expression is figure something out.
To figure something out means to spend time thinking about a situation until you understand it or find a solution. For example, it took me a long time to figure out how to use this new computer software.
Our third phrase today is keep in mind.
To keep in mind means to remember or consider a specific piece of information when you are making a decision or thinking about something. For example, when you travel in winter, keep in mind that flights might be delayed due to snow.
That is super useful. The fourth expression is it turns out that.
We use it turns out that to introduce a surprising result or a fact that was discovered after some time. For example, I thought I lost my keys, but it turns out that they were in my jacket pocket the whole time.
Love that one. The fifth phrase is have trouble with something.
To have trouble with something means to find an action or topic difficult or challenging to deal with. For example, many language learners have trouble with English prepositions at first.
And our sixth phrase is get used to something.
To get used to something means to become accustomed or familiar with a new situation or habit so that it no longer feels strange or hard. For example, it took me 3 months to get used to waking up at 6 in the morning for my new job.
Those 6 phrases are absolute gold for everyday English conversations. They help you express your thoughts smoothly and sound supernatural when you talk to native speakers.
If you want to practice your English right now, try writing a sentence in the comments using one of those phrases. Pick one like get used to or figure something out and share a story with us.
Yes, reading your comments is literally our favorite part of making this podcast. It brings so much warmth to our week.
Well, I think we have covered a lot of deep emotional territory today. How are you feeling about Mark's text now, Brian?
You know what? I feel totally peaceful. If he replies, that is great. If he doesn't, that is okay too. I am just going to appreciate the old memories and focus on enjoying my day.
That is such a wonderful mindset to end on. Thank you so much for listening to the Understandable English podcast today, everyone.
We hope you all have a relaxing week filled with good memories and stress-free conversations. Keep practicing your English, take care of yourselves, and we will talk to you next time.
Goodbye, everyone. Have a great week.
Yesterday I had trouble with my phone, but I tried to figure something out, kept in mind your advice, and run into a problem where it turns out that I just had to get used to my old friends not texting back.
I am just glad your phone didn't explode. See you next week, Brian.